सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. Our Vedas, 4 in number, called Rigveda, Yajurveda, Samaveda and Atharvana Veda. Really speaking, we cannot say our Vedas, but knowingly I have mentioned our Vedas. Why I have made that statement, I want to tell you. Vedas belong to whole humanity. That knowledge given in Vedas is meant to guide the whole humanity in the universe. But those Vedas are protected on this land in our Indian culture where we are living. Therefore, we can say our Vedas. So carefully we have to understand. Vedas belong to the whole universe. The teaching in the Vedas is meant for all people in this creation. Since that Indians, Bharatiyas, those who are living on this land particularly, have taken care of these Vedas from generations. Our Rishis, the Parampara. Therefore, we can say our Vedas. Really speaking, that word is not exactly correct. Our Vedas. Vedas belong to whole humanity. அதில் ஒரு ஆனந்தம். அவர் வேதாஸ் என்று சொல்கிறதுக்கெல்லாம் some as though we are taking care of them, protecting them. How we are protecting? By studying, by propagating, and we are preserving the treasure to the whole humanity. So therefore, this knowledge given in the Vedas belong to Bhagavan only. Whatever is belong to Bhagavan belong to the whole creation. So therefore, the Vedic knowledge handed down to the humanity from Parampara, teacher and to his student, then that student will become teacher and that teacher will give to his student and that student will become teacher and give to the next generation. This is called Parampara, tradition, Paramparyam, tradition, Sampradaya. The Sampradaya is called tradition, that which is handed down to the next generation is called Sampradaya. Our Vedic knowledge is given to the next generation, coming generations, it is coming down from the Lord. That's why we say Sadashiva Samarambham, Arambham from Sadashiva, Shankaracharya Madhyamam, Asmadacharya Paryantam, until our Guru from Lord Shankara, Parameshwara. This teaching is coming. It is not new any Swamiji's teaching or new any Swamini's teaching. Nothing belongs to us. Everything belongs to Bhagavan. So that must be very clear. Now come to our topic here. that which is coming down through Guru Sishya Parampara, just as the parents give their property to the children. Similarly, what is the real property according to our rishis? Give the knowledge, Atma Vidya or Brahma Vidya or Akshara Vidya to our children, next generations. So this is Parampara. In keeping with this tradition, Vedas have got complementary angas, ancillaries we say. The main subject and the ancillaries. Angas, they are called complementary or angas. To study our main subject, you require ancillary support to understand the main subject. Similarly, to understand Vedas, that Vedic study is required, the ancillaries, angas. That is called philosophy, we call philosophy. A shastram, Sankhya philosophy, Nyaya philosophy, Vaisheshika philosophy. All are called shastram. They are all supportive. Vyakarana shastram, Yoga shastram. They are called darshanams. Philosophy means darshana. Darshana means through which you get the knowledge, vision. That is called darshanam. So yoga darshanam. It's a philosophy. Yoga philosophy. A supportive knowledge to get the main Vedic knowledge. Similarly, Vyakarana shastram, grammar, Sanskrit grammar. Mainly all these philosophies are in the Sutra form. Sutra means a cryptic statement or an aphorism, we call it as aphorism. Aphorism means sutram. Sutra means thread. The thread is that which twines each bead. Like that, this sutra is that like a thread, string. All these philosophies are in sutra form. For example, the whole Veda Purva called Karma Kanda is in a sutra form. Veda mantras are in verse form, shloka form, mantra form. Our rishis, again they have written in the same teaching which is in Vedas in a sutra form. Veda Purva written by Jaimini Maharshi. Jaimini Maharshi. They are called Purva Mimamsa Sutrani. Purva Mimamsa Sutrani. The first sutra is Athato Dharma Jignasa. So how one should perform rituals, how one should want to go to heaven, what type of punya karyams he has to do. Like that, one has to take up that dharma, rituals, performing in a righteous way. He starts the sutra, Athato Dharma Jignasa. Like that, Kapila Muni and Gautama Muni, they have written sutras. Here, Nyaya Sutras means logical sutras written by Gautama Muni. And Sankhya Sutras written by Kapila Muni. Panini Sutras, Vyakarana Sutras written by Panini. Similarly, Yoga Sutras written by Patanjali. Yoga Sutras written by Patanjali Maharshi. The teaching in these sutras is nothing but the same which is already there in the Vedas. Clear? So, there are so many ancillary subjects. So many means this Nyaya, Vaisheshika, Sankhya, all this. And Vyasa Acharya has written Brahma Sutras. Later portion of Vedas is called Veda Anta portion, called Uttara Mimamsa. Mimamsa means analysis. Analysis on the later portion or the end portion of Vedas is called Uttara Mimamsa. Purva means previous. Uttara means later portion of Vedas. Written by Vyasa Bhagavan. This sutra begins with this Athato Brahma Jignasa. Brahma Jignasa. If you want to get that Nityananda, that Nityananda don't forget, okay? Nityananda BA, MBA, if you want to get Brahma Jignasa, first sutra. Like that, Patanjali Maharshi also begins his sutras. Na? Atha Yoganushasanam, first sutra. Atha Yoganushasanam. Before going to see that mantra, sutra, we should know where from this teaching has come. Little bit we can see. Bruhat Yogi Yajnavalkya Smriti. This teaching, Yoga Shastra, came from Lord Brahma. Yajnavalkya Smriti, it has been already pointed out, this Yoga Shastra came from the Lord Brahma, Hiranyagarbha. Brihat Yogi Yajnavalkya Smriti says, Yoga Darshana is revealed by Lord Brahma first time. Lord Brahma. Chaturmukha Brahma or Brahmaji. Chaturmukha Brahma. There one statement comes here. Hiranyagarbha Yogasya Vakta Nanyaha Puratanaha. Hiranyagarbha Yogasya. That Yoga Shastra given by the Lord Brahma alone, not by anyone else. Nanyaha Puratanaha. Hiranyagarbha Yogasya Vakta Nanyaha Puratanaha. There is no other revealer than Hiranyagarbha, the first Lord. Brahma Devanam Prathama Sambhabhuva Vishwasya Karta Bhuvanasya Gopta. The Lord Brahmaji, the creator, only gave this yoga, that which is becoming very popular in the world now. Nook and corner of the world. Everyone, yoga, fashion of the day. It is a fashion of the day now. Given by whom, that poor Brahmaji, he never knew that people will take up this yoga in this manner. As a key fit exercise, he never thought of. That is why we, the Indians, anything old we can make it new, and new also we can make it old. Old in the sense not useless, ancient. That ancient, that Yoga Shastra, how it is going into the minds of the people nowadays. You see, all walks of life people. Yoga means it's like a magnet, it is attracting the people. Like a magnet. Because of its multifold advantages. Multifold advantages. That is the greatness of our rishis, the contribution they have given to the whole humanity. It's relevant to all people all the time. That is the contribution of our rishis. Not like modern people, whatever they give, outdated. Like our film songs. Hit song, this is today hit song. What will happen to this hit song tomorrow? It will hit by another song. Then that song will become hit song. That is the modern trend. But you see the yoga, that's what our ancestors' contribution, they keep the whole humanity in their vision. Relevant to all people, all languages, all religions, all the time, all the periods of time. Amazing. Amazing. That's why yoga is relevant to all religions. All religions, they are practicing yoga. And languages, any sort of worship, doesn't matter, but yoga is relevant to them. So therefore, it's very ancient. Now we have to know what yoga is. Very, very ancient. That is Sanatanam. Then the next point we have to see is how this is ancient, not new. This sutra itself says, first sutra, we will read and we'll go to the meaning. Repeat after me. Atha yoganuशासनम्. Atha is equal to now. Now means it begins. Now begins. Arambharthe atha. Now begins that yoga shastra, yoga anuशासनम्. Anu, for the word shasanam, it is a prefix. Anu shasana. Shasanam word, it has got a prefix. Prefix means a pratyaya before that shasana is called prefix, pratyaya. Anu indicates, that word anu prefix indicates the subject matter. The subject matter is not composed by the author. Anushasanam, that anu indicates the subject matter is not composed by that author, but he had received it from the yoga tradition. That anu indicates this is not his invention, not author's invention. Patanjali Yoga Sutras written by whom? Patanjali. Valmiki Ramayanam written by whom? Valmiki. Similarly, Patanjali Yoga Sutras written by Patanjali Maharshi. That subject matter given in the Patanjali Yoga Sutras is not just invented by Patanjali Maharshi, but Anushasanam. That anu, he had received it from the tradition, yoga tradition, that means from Brahma, an artha. This is very, very important, we have to remember. Therefore, anybody says, I have invented this meditation, I have invented anybody says, better not to go there. Be careful, an artha. Whatever invented by any other human being, it has got a problem. So Brahmaji, from the Vedas onwards, he has taken that Brahma heard from that Bhagavan, learned from Bhagavan. So therefore, the tradition. What is the proof for it? This Patanjali Yoga Sutras written by Patanjali only. He is the author, but not his invention. He has taken from the Lord Brahma. Whatever he has received from Brahma alone, he has codified in a sutra form. Sutra form. What is the proof? The Bhoja Vritti, there is a text called Bhoja Vritti. There is a verse which supports these sutras written by Patanjali Maharshi alone. Because Patanjali has never kept his name, like our people, whatever we do, little bit small thing, our name will be there. But those days they never bother about their name, the propriety and all. They don't have that intention at all. Name, fame and all. So, Kala Kramena, the time passes, that name, authorship also people will forget generally. But this Bhoja Vritti, it tells these sutras written by Patanjali Maharshi alone That shloka, many of you know, the yoga students, all of you. That shloka is Yogena chittasya padena vacha malam sharirasya cha vaidyakena yopakarottam pravaram muninam Patanjalim pranjaliranatosmi. This shloka taken from the Bhoja Vritti, the text. That author says, Patanjali is one who removed the impurities of that body, mind and words yogena, by Ashtanga Yoga. He has removed the impurities of that chittasya, of the mind. That shloka meaning I am giving, because many of you know that shloka. Afterwards we'll write on the board, you can copy down. Yogena means by yoga, by Ashtanga Yoga, 8-limbed yoga, chittasya, of the mind, malam apakarot. You can take 3 levels, manasa, vacha, karmana. Kaika dosha, manasika dosha, vachika dosha. The impurities, the malam are the impurities at mental level. Chittasya. Chittasya malam yogena. Vacha malam padena, by words. He has written a bhashyam, commentary on Panini Sutras. Panini Vyakaranam, Sanskrit Vyakaranam Sutras. Panini is the author. On that he has written commentary, Patanjali Maharshi. Whoever study that Vyakaranam, their speech will be pure. Sanskritam. That's why it is called Sanskritam. That which purifies your words, verbal level, grammar. Ancient, even that sutras, Panini Sutras also based on Maheshwara Sutrani. The sound came from the Lord Shiva from his Damaruka. When he played Damarukam, you know Damarukam? Uduk. Aivun, Ruluk, Evong, Ayouch, Hayavarat, like that all sounds came. From that he made sutras, Panini. You imagine? That Panini Sutras, this Patanjali has written a bhashyam, commentary, how to study Panini Sutras, how to understand each sutra. That is a big, vast subject. It takes 12 years if you study 24 hours. If you study 24 hours, any Shastra, to understand what is there inside, 12 years it will take time. One Shastra. So our life is not sufficient. So that Bhashyam commentary written by Patanjali Maharshi upon this Sanskrit Panini Sutras is called Mahabhashyam. Huge commentary, Mahabhashyam, to remove the impurity at the verbal level. So through Ashtanga Yoga, mental impurity you can remove. By studying his Bhashyam, Sanskrit grammar, verbal impurity you can remove. There is another level, body level. How to remove the impurity at body level? He says, Sharirasya cha vaidyakena. He has given the Ayurveda medicine. What we are giving to society, you tell me now. How the Mahatmas, great rishis, contributed to the society. So, Sharirasya cha vaidyakena, by the physician, Patanjali Maharshi is a physician, Ayurvedic. Ayurveda is one of the Veda, Panchama Veda. Ayurveda is the Panchama Veda, given by Patanjali Maharshi. Patanjali Maharshi means, again you have to see the Ashwani Kumaras, from there, from Lord only it has come. So he has given that sutras again in Ayurveda also, to remove the physical impurities, Ayurveda medicine. So, yogena chittasya padena vacham malam sharirasya cha vaidyakena. Over. So what? To such a great Patanjali, I do namaskar, salutations. Yaha apakarot, who has removed the impurities. Just by listening the shloka, impurities will not go. Okay. Just by listening or writing notes, impurities will not go. What we have to do? Practice, implement, study. Theory and practice both are important. Nowadays, yoga is becoming only practical level. There is no theory. There is no theory, much theory. Yoga means doing only like a dance. That with sound, some sound you have to do. Edo or sound irkana, somma shaddam irkana namakku. Yoga is not like that. It's a very calm and slow evolution in the human personality. Very calm and serene evolution in the human personality we have to understand. So, yaha apakarot tam, to him, to such Patanjali, not ordinary Patanjali, pravaram muninam. Pravaram means the great. Great among muninam, among the sages. Pravaram muninam, who is he? Patanjalim, to such Patanjali, tam Patanjalim, pravaram muninam, Patanjalim, pranjalihi, with folded hands, anataha, saluting, asmi, I remain. See the whole shloka now. Yogena chittasya padena vacha malam sharirasya cha vaidyakena yopakarottam pravaram muninam patanjalim pranjaliranatosmi. Pranjalihi anataha asmi pranjaliranatosmi. I am saluting, I am remaining in saluting to that Patanjali who is great among the sages, who contributed to the whole humanity in the form of removing the impurities of the mind, body and words. So therefore this shloka tells in Bhoja Vritti that Yoga Sutras author is Patanjali Maharshi. This shloka tells. This is our prayer in yoga classes we do. I remain saluting Patanjali, the greatest among the sages, who has removed the impurities of my body, words and the mind. Clear? Shloka? So every day when you are starting yoga sadhana, to whom you have to salute? Patanjali. You have to show gratitude to him. Now, regarding the time of the Patanjali, what is the exact time when the Patanjali is the living time when he did this work? There are a lot of different opinions. There is no any uniform time. It is natural. This is historical. The people know which century he belongs to. The many scholars, they say he belongs to the 2nd century BC, before Christ. 2nd century BC. The most probable date they give that, 2nd century AD, BC. BC. And he has, some people say 200 BC. 200, the 2nd century BC. The Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, the chart comes like this. From Lord Brahma, then Patanjali Yoga Sutras. Upon these Patanjali Yoga Sutras, there are many authors, many scholars has written so many books. Books and books, if you go to a library, so many books are there. Among those books, just I enumerate, Patanjali Bhashya of Vyasa. Vyasa Bhagavan wrote commentary upon Patanjali Sutras. Vyasa in 400 AD. 400 AD. Then next, Tattva, that names and all not necessary for you. Vachaspati Mishra has written Tattva Saradi of Vachaspati. Tattva Saradi of Vachaspati in 900 AD. And Patanjali Rahasya of Raghavananda. Patanjali Rahasya he has written. Vachaspati Mishra, his name, second. Tattva Saradi. And Yoga Vartika, Vijnana Bhikshu, another 1600 AD, after the death of the Christ. Yoga Vartika of Vijnana Bhikshu. Imagine so many commentaries, why I am telling how great that Shastra. இது ஒன்றும் தெரியாமலே நம்ம ஏதோ ஆசனமும் பிராணாயாமம் முக்கு பிடிச்சிட்டு உட்கார்ந்து. So we should know the depth of that philosophy, then we can value it and we can implement into our life. What are all areas we have to take for our what? Nityananda, Brahmananda. That we have to remember. We should not forget. We should not lose sight of our goal. We should not lose sight of. So, there are many more authors written, many commentaries. This much is enough for us. Now, the sutras of Hiranyagarbha are no longer available now. That Hiranyagarbha sutras where he has given Yajnavalkya Smriti are not available. That's why now what is available is Patanjali Yoga Sutras are available. That is why we are looking into that Patanjali Yoga Sutras. Patanjali Maharshi has gathered these principles and practices of yoga and presented them in the form of sutras, 195 sutras total. I am not going to take 195, okay. So 195 sutras totally has given, all cryptic aphorisms. Sutra means what? A formula. A formula, short, crisp statement. Cryptic statement is called sutra. 195 sutras he has given. Among the 195 sutras, they are all divided into 4 parts. These 195 sutras are divided into 4 parts. First part is called Samadhi Pada. Here part or chapter is called Pada in Yoga Sutras. Chapter is called Pada. So Samadhi Adhyaya, instead of Adhyaya, he says Samadhi Pada. Samadhi Pada, na andedo Samadhi ella nirke kodadu. Samadhi means here dealing with that, with the nature and aim of Samadhi. What is the nature, Swabhava, nature of Samadhi? Aim of Samadhi, what it meant for? Samadhi is meant for what? Aim at what? To get what? All those points are given in this first pada. It's called Samadhi Pada. Dealing with the nature and aim of Samadhi, or the state of resolution of one's mind. You can, Samadhi means what? The state of the resolution of one's mind, where the mind will resolve. Where the mind will resolve. The state of resolution of one's own mind. Not other mind, other people's mind, because we do not know their mind. We know about our mind only. Even knowing about our own mind also not easy. After a length of study only we come to know. That's what we are going to do that. What is the nature of the mind? We are going to thoroughly analyze about our own mind. That's why morning I said, this sadhana camp is appointment with yourself. Appointment with yourself, your inner core. What am I? Who am I really? Why that really? Unreally கூட இருக்கோ? அதுதான் இருக்கு இப்போ நமக்கு. Who am I really? To know that. These are all going to come. Then the second pada is called sadhana pada. Sadhana pada. Sadhana pada is that explaining the means to achieve that samadhi. Means. What is the means to achieve that samadhi? Resolution of one's own mind. How to achieve that? To achieve that resolution of one's own mind, what to do? What are the sadhanas? Practices. All are given in this sadhana pada, that is second pada. And the third pada is called vibhuti pada. Vibhuti pada. An incidental point also, the first pada has got totally 51 sutras. Samadhi pada has got 51 sutras totally. And the second pada, that is sadhana pada, has got 55 sutras. 55 sutras. The third pada is called vibhuti pada. Vibhuti pada, not vibhuti. Vibhuti pada. Vibhuti pada is that it's revealing the extraordinary powers, mystic powers, siddhis. It is called siddhi pada also, we can say. What are all siddhis one can attain by practicing this Patanjali yoga? What are the siddhis? Anima, laghima, mahima, garima, all the siddhis. There are people who are learning yoga only to get siddhis. There are. So, all those siddhis, vibhuti pada is talking about. The fourth pada, this third pada got 56 sutras. 56 sutras. Then the fourth pada is called Kaivalya pada. Kaivalya pada, in which the description of the nature of liberation. The nature of liberation. Kaivalya means what? Moksha, liberation. Describing the nature of liberation and the reality of the self. What is the reality of the self? 33 sutras. Kaivalya pada is fully in 33 sutras, totally 195 sutras. So, samadhi pada, sadhana pada, vibhuti pada, kaivalya pada. Now, what we are seeing in the world, people are practicing yoga is only sadhana pada. In that, only that 8 steps, 8-limbed yoga, ashtanga yoga. In that 8 limbs also only asanas, maximum people are practicing. Even that asanas are also they are converting like exercises. Now you understand? Among these four padas, sadhana pada is popular because I want to come out of these ailments and to calm down the mind, meditation, and to remove all my problems at the breathing level, pranayama. So asana, pranayama, dhyana, these three are hanging. Whole thing has gone. Yama niyamas, dharana, pratyahara, all, there are 8 limbs. But asana only predominantly practicing is going on now. Even that asanas also, you know how difficult to get that each asana. And to practice also every day is also another thing, time factor. Now where is yoga, where we are now? See that. From the 4 padas, 1 pada and the sadhana pada, 8 limbs of yoga and 8 limbs also. Only one asana people are taking. That's why whenever they come to my yoga classes, generally I talk 1.5 hours. I give a lecture, long lecture. All this I'll explain and all. Why she is talking so much? We have come here only to do, not to write. Only to do. Morning onwards, this is 3rd lecture. Now, we are wearing chudidar morning onwards. But one panna patient SWAMINI. That's why people never think of there is a Shastra, theory is there, is required to study, and never they think of if anybody talks also they will go away. That's why I brought here. In Chennai means I can't keep you here. 3 hours I cannot talk. No? Every day, 4 days. This is opportunity for me. So that you cannot go anywhere. No shopping, nothing is available here. No work also, no cooking, nothing. So that you are available always in lecture hall for me. So my selfishness, okay. So we have to study not all padas, all sutras. At least for our Nityananda's sake. Who is this Nityananda coming middle? Brahmananda, that Ananda, that which is permanent, Shashvata Ananda, Brahmananda or Atmananda. How to attain that? These are all preparations. Brahmajnanam is not so easy. Without Brahmajnanam, there is no Brahmananda. To attain Brahmajnanam, I have to use this machine, body, machine, instrument, mind, intellect. Then I have to take care of them. Oh, to take care of these 3, to get Brahmananda, I have to study Yoga Shastra. See the connection. See the connection. To get Brahmananda, I have to use this body-mind complex. If they are in good condition, body, mind, complex, intellect, all in good condition, only I can attain Brahmananda. To keep them in proper condition, I have to study Yoga Shastra. Now you understand what is Yoga Sadhana camp? How to understand this? You require a tremendous depth. Yoga is not a keep fit exercise. Yoga is much more. It is a vast ocean. Helps the person to concentrate. This is called Samadhi Pada, the first Pada. How one can develop that concentration. That sutra. You look into the sutra. Atha, now, yoga of concentration. Yoga or concentration. Samadhi means concentration. Yoga means concentration. He is going to explain later. Or contemplation. From Vedantic language, we can call it as contemplation. Samadhi means what? Contemplation. Contemplation means, in Sanskrit we call it as nididhyasanam. I have to observe. I have to absorb in keeping my mind, how to resolve that mental distractions, focusing all the thoughts into one direction. Focusing all the thoughts into one direction. Channelization. That's why yoga, the definition, is derived from the root yuj. The word yoga derived from the root, the two roots we can take. Yujir, yogi, in the sense of joining together. In the sense of joining together. Anything joining together means there must be two things. Joining once comes, there must be two things. What are those two things? Jivatma and Paramatma. Joining the individual soul with the total. Generally they give this meaning. So joining means really there is no joining, physical union is not there. Joining means Jivatma eva Paramatma aikyam, jnanam, the knowledge, understanding. Understanding, I the Jiva, the individual soul, is none other than Paramatma, the total. By studying Patanjali Yoga, you are not going to get the Jnanam. But Patanjali Yoga Sutras or Sadhana Pada, Samadhi Pada helps us to get that. When you study Vedas, Upanishads, Gita and all, through this practice, your body, mind is qualified enough. It gives a qualification, yogyata. Jnana yogyata prapyartham sharira dardhyam. Jnana yogyata, jnana enna jnanam? Coffee jnanama? Vada jnanama? Jnana yogyata means atma jnanam. The self-knowledge. It qualifies the person to get self-knowledge while studying the scriptures from the right guru, and this body mind will be cooperating. They will cooperate. Body, mind and intellect. In physics, chemistry and all, if they don't cooperate also okay. No? Sometimes and many times they won't cooperate. That is called lack of integration. Therefore, another name is called integration of body-mind complex. Yoga means what? Integration of body-mind complex. Qualifying oneself. Getting adhikara, yogyata. The best qualification. Yoga is not compulsory. We don't say compulsory. If you have TOEFL, CAT, TOEFL exam, to go to America, you have to learn their accent. And the accent is a training. An American accent, then only they will understand. There are a lot of exams they conduct here. Qualification. If it is there, well and good. Like that, to get Atma Jnanam, you have to study scriptures. And to study scriptures also, you require a healthy sense organs, healthy body. For that, Lord Krishna often in Bhagavad Gita quotes about this Ashtanga Yoga. Even Shankaracharya, many Acharyas, even in Aparokshanubhuti, Shankaracharya heavily use this yoga. Even Madhusudana Saraswati, many authors, many Acharyas encourage the Ashtanga Yoga is the best sadhana to qualify the person to understand that scriptures. So this is a preparation, preparing ground. Otherwise 1 hour class, half an hour we sleep. Because our listening capacity is only 20 minutes. Who will listen 1 hour? That to morning onwards you are go on talking. Who can listen, Swamini? See, this focusing mind, concentration without any drowsiness, my body has to cooperate, my mind has to cooperate, then only my intellect can receive and register and retain. That's why Sukshma Buddhi is required. Now, what a type of health you have to maintain, imagine. So, yoga is the best tool to prevent the diseases through the asanas, pranayama, then focusing mind through dhyanam. Then you can sit 1 hour class means the whole world is dead to you. You will forget the time. The whole 1 hour subject essence just you grasp like anything. How that power will come? Like that you have to listen years together, not 1 day or 2 days. Years together you have to listen the Shastra, 750 slokas of Bhagavad Gita, hundreds and hundreds of mantras from Upanishads, 550 sutras of Brahma Sutras. For what? BA, MA. What is BA, MA? Adi sollungo. Brahmananda and Maha. Mastery. Master. I want to become master of Brahmananda. So this is the qualification. Otherwise, even you listen also, you cannot grasp. Assimilation is the toughest task. Vedanta is the toughest subject if person is not prepared. For that matter, any subject is tough if person is not qualified. What to talk of Vedanta? It's very, very tough. So we are preparing ourselves for BA. So among these 195 sutras, I am going to take only 49 sutras selected by our Puja Swamiji, Paramarthananda Saraswati, years back. I asked Swamiji to give some important sutras, and Swamiji has selected some sutras. So I am going to take those sutras from the first chapter, the first pada, 16 sutras. Those 16 sutras, what I have given now in your hand, those sutras are there. The first sutra is Atha Yoganushāsanam. The 16 sutras belong to the first pada called Samadhi pada. Now, this teaching of yoga, which is, yoga is a contemplation or concentration, Anushāsanam. The revised text. This is whatever already given by Vedas, I am giving here. That is the mantra, first sutra. Atha Yoganushāsanam. Shasana means teaching. Teaching of yoga, that which is already given by our Brahmaji, Anushāsanam. Anushāsanam. Who says? Patanjali says. The next sutra. What do you mean by yoga? That Yujik have given that derivation. And the second sutra is, he says, yoga means, we will read the second sutra. Yoga chitta vritti nirodhaha. Yoga means, chitta means mind, vritti means modifications, nirodhaha means control or channelization. Control of the mind is called yoga. Yogaha chitta vritti nirodhaha. We will see that sutra in detail in the next class. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om.